Hi everyone, I'm Robin. I'm here today to show you how to make these loom band bracelets. This ring is just an extra idea, but what I'll be showing you is the basic method. I'll give you two methods of how to join it together and two ways of finishing off to join it all together at the end. Okay, so let's get started. The first method is just to use your own hand as the loom. Now you've probably seen those looms that you can buy. I'm not using that today because I'm just using what you can do most easily. And the first method is just to use your hand. The second method is to tape together, tape or masking tape, 3 pencils, a low one in the middle and 2 the same height. So that's kind of a makeshift loom, but I'm going to start with just using my own hand. So the first thing to do is choose your starting colour. I've got, well, actually I'll use this red one. And I'm going to loop it around my index finger, and then I'm going to twist it and loop it around my middle finger. The main thing is to have this X in the middle. If you don't have that, just go back and give it a twist and push until you can see that X. That's the only time you'll have to do that. And pull it down a bit and get your second colour. I'm going with this green one. And then all you have to do is pull the bottom one, which was our red one, the first one, up, 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 over the top of your finger and drop it in the middle. Same on the other side, up, up, up over the top of the finger and drop it in the middle. And you can see it's all loose there. And we pull down the remaining one. Okay, let's get started on another colour. I'm going to use this blue one and put it over, and remember the bottom colour goes up over the top colour and drop, over and drop. You should never have more than 2 rubber bands on your hand at one time. If you do, you've forgotten something. Take them off and go back. It's time for us to put on a bead. Now this is an easy way to get ready to actually put all the beads you want on a little band. You could use 8 or 10. I've used 10 beads and that can be quite loose, and I'm an adult, so you might find 8 is enough. I'll do 8 today. 10's probably safer, depending on how you finish it off, and I'll show you what a difference that does make, because this one is very loose and this one's quite tight, because I've used different methods and they're both 10 beads. Okay, so just to show you how we did that, you pinch the band and push it through this nice big bead. They're called pony beads or jug beads. I don't know why they use either of those names, but that's what they're called. And it's time to put a bead into our bracelet. So you pinch one side, don't let go or it will fall off. Push your finger through the other loop, and then the bit you're pinching goes over the other finger. So now you've done the usual loop over your finger, but there's a bead in the middle here. Same method, get the bottom band and drop it over the top one. Pull over the finger and drop it. Now if I pull that first red one, you can see how there's a chain forming. So that's working. After you've done a bead, you do a plain band with no bead. I call this a spacer. So you do a bead, then a spacer, and then a bead again. So do the spacer, drop it. We're gonna have to pull that down because it's gonna fall off otherwise. It's getting too close to the top. And then I'll get my next bead. And I'll just speed up a little bit so that I can get to the end now and show you how to finish off. So that's pull that over, pull it down my fingers, get a spacer. And it's good to plan the colours before you start, because you might decide to have a particular pattern. Give it a tug and that helps pull it down your fingers too. If not, you can just do a random rainbow effect like I've got there. But it's quite fun to decide what colours and in what order they're going to come. Now if you were doing 10 beads, you'd need 20 loom bands plus 2 more for each end, so about 24 just to be on the safe side. If you had less beads, you might only need 20 loom bands. So just to make sure you've got enough, that's what you need, about 24 plus 10 beads. Last one, there's my last bead, one side, the other side. Drop it, drop it. Now, I think I'll put on one more spacer. Drop it, drop it. And I'll do the same colours I did at the end, which was green and red, just to make an end. At this point, there are 2 ways we can finish off. So I'll drop the green one over and I've just got the red one on my fingers still. An easy way to finish off is just to take one side and put it onto the other finger, but take it down below that other loop. So you take it onto the finger and pull it down. Then take the top one, closest to the top of your finger, pull, and also pull the other one. And you should end up with what I call a slip knot. If you don't know what a slip knot is, it just means you've slipped one end through the loop at the other end. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter, just tie a knot in it, because that's one way we can finish this off. See a mistake in mine? Okay, so I can see that orange one isn't threaded properly, but it's now ready to finish off. Now you can see my 2 red ones. I've got the slip knots, and that was achieved by putting that cross at the beginning. And now I can simply tie a knot in it, and it just stays tied together. So I tie one knot and then I have to stretch the ends out. This is a bit tricky. You might need someone else to help you with this if you want to do a double knot. That's pretty hard work, but it's so stretchy that you can get it on and off easily. Or if you want to make it a bit easier on yourself, just use one of these little S-shaped joining things. They have a little gap. They're not a figure eight, a closed figure eight. They are an S shape, so there's a little opening. You can see my fingernails gone through the opening. So what you do is you put the rubber band into the opening and pull so that it goes into the little eye of that. And then the other end, we pull into I put it in the gap and I pull so that it goes through the little tiny opening. It won't fall off, but there is a tiny opening there. And there we've got that little S joining piece there. And that way we didn't have to tie that knot, which was a little hard. If you want to make it easier to do the knot, just do an extra one at the end. I only did 2 at the end, do 3, and then you'll be able to tie the knot a lot easier. So let's try that. The only trouble is it's then a little bit, this one could have been a bit loose. It looks like it's working quite well, this time. So there you are. It's just that you've got this gap without beads. So, I mean, you could even slip a bead onto that and leave off that red one altogether. That would be another way to do it. Or you could put an extra one in there. If it's not long enough and you wanted to tie a knot, just make it a bit longer, do another slip knot. There we go. Then it's a bit easier to tie it up. It's like having a longer piece of string. Okay, so there's two ways to tie it off. Well, what about using the pencil? So if you don't want to use your fingers, just get the first rubber band, put a twist in it. Remember, you need that X there. And then pull it down, get the next colour, without a cross, and then get the bottom colour, which was our first colour, was red. Pull it over the pencil, drop in the middle, pull it over and drop in the middle, and then maybe get your bead, push that little loop through, push, 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 keep hanging on to one side, and then put it through. That's why using the tip of the pencil's the best way, because you can push it through that little loop, and then the other side. And now, bring the bottom loop over the top and drop it. And the green one over the top and drop it. And I'll just grab that first red one and give it a little tug. And that's how you would keep going. The next one goes over the tips of the pencils. The lower band comes over the pencil and drop in the middle. And so on. And if you want to finish off with the slip knot, you would do that there. Okay, so obviously haven't made a whole bracelet. If you do a really short one, you could even just do a ring. I just tied a knot for that one. And it's only got, what has it got? About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 8 rubber bands and a bead in the middle one. There we go. So, try that. Remember to try some different coloured patterns and away you go. And tape your pencils together well so they don't slip. Okay, good luck.